I was just struck by the vulnerability and this ability to lay it all out there in sharing a story and a journey without pretension. And I think that's what we got from the filmmaking as well. There's an on the ground quality to it with a rawness, but it also had a clear vision and focus in that very striking cinematography as it unfolded. I personally felt like I was invited as one of those on this journey, one of the hikers. And that immersiveness really helped me like dive into how it would feel to do said journey and to be surrounded by such stunning and daunting environments. And I think that's what I got from it in terms of the overarching feeling, like the dauntingness of life and our choices and our journey, but also the absolute wonder to be an active participant in it. A lovely musical score throughout, and really nice, gently unfolding pacing, which allowed time for these kind of big life revelations to just wash over me.
What is striking about this documentary is the heart of the story. The content is very authentic, and the subjects and their desire to sort of embark on this journey is very true and honorable. And that really comes off as you watch them. Most sort of destination-based stories, um, as was mentioned in the documentary, and in the story hints to, is that people are sort of seeking personal gratification or fame or notoriety for their achievements, whereas the story is the sort of opposite of that. And I like how they make the effort of making that distinction of the two. I like the journey that we sort of go on with them as the audience. I think the cinematography really aligns with that so well, and with the theme of the documentary. Every shot is sort of prepared and curated in such a way so as to complement the story.
A thought provoking and enlightening documentary. Um, I've seen a few documentaries so far that tell the tale of climbing Mount Everest, the whole man versus nature story. And usually, what these stories do is they always have a very triumphant ending where man is able to overcome nature, and it's all about the journey of overcoming the mountain. Um, what the True Summit did that was very different from those documentaries is this one was a more inflective, introspective kind of journey where it was less about the mountain and more about the man. It was less about how are we going to climb this mountain and more of why are we going to climb this mountain. It forced the man that we were profiling to ask these questions, and we got to learn more about him, why he's climbing the mountain. We got to learn some of his scars from his past. Um, and that's all to lead up to the ending where basically he doesn't even successfully climb the mountain. Halfway through he stops, and I think that's a very mature approach to that sort of an ending where it's less about triumphing and more realizing, what am I trying to prove, why am I trying to do this. And I found that very fascinating, looking into yourself and not needing that satisfaction, that glory to do this feat, and being and accepting and being happy with who you are as a person.
Climbing mountains are hard, but overcoming the mountain that exists within you may be harder. And with that in mind, we see these gentlemen come together and have this journey of coming and sharing parts of themselves and growing as time goes on this journey together. And, they kind of showcase this spiritual experience that exists within them and kind of overcoming this as a group of people together versus going through it alone says wonders, right? With the humanity and knowing this connection that we need with others. And as we climb mountains, sometimes it's easier to do it in a group versus on a solo trip.
He's reattempting the same summit after a near-death experience on Mount Rainier. And this documentary answers the question of what is this man's purpose in attempting to do this? What drew him to the summit in the first place? And what is the meaning behind it all? This documentary features a lot of drone shots, and it really allows us to focus on the grandness of the peaks. We have the VO narration, sort of in a narrator style. And then there's also intercut with this talking head interview style with people who have relations with this person or also are the person that the documentary is focused on. And you're on a journey with them up this peak is what makes this documentary interesting and unique is that you feel like you are taking this journey to the summit as well.
Where he says, it's not what I do, it's who I am that really defines me, that's a huge growth. It's really, really wonderful to see the growth and the change over the course of this film. It meant a lot to me personally. Just to find satisfaction in who you are, the relationship with God and the journey within, rather than accomplishing things. And it's but he's accomplishing something, in that the journey he went on with friends, he went on with people and had the experience together. That constituted a spiritual journey within, that spoke volumes to me. That means a lot.